Today we're not going to keep it too formal. We're going to try to make it as simple as possible for everybody here. Allow me to say two things while I'm here. About maybe 2 decades ago, which is crazy for me to say. About 2 decades ago, I was right here. I walked all these halls. I played football over there. I went to the nursery over there. I did every single bad thing that I could do in this school that I could think of. It's okay. I'm old now, so I can say it in front of Auntie Florence. But the point is, if you ever wanted to look at what your future might look like in a couple of years, one of you might just be, I wouldn't say me, but you might be like me, better than me, doing something what I'm doing, standing here speaking to people a few years from now. But I wanted to say something. When I was here and we would have a conference like this, I won't lie, the first thing I'm thinking to myself is, oh, I need to go. Like, I want to go watch, time to go. I want to go do something else. So we spend our time here. We're like, oh, what do these older people have to teach us? But I will be honest with you. There's a lot that we know. There's a lot that we've been encouraged to know through social media, through the internet, through everything. But the honest truth is there's nothing that we could do without the people who came before us. So while you have them with you, while you still are lucky enough to have either your parents, your brothers, your uncles, your grandfathers, as long as they're still with you, you should appreciate them. I guarantee you, because they will not be here forever. Now, it sounds, we never want to talk about them, but it's the truth. They will not be here forever. Which means that while you're here, make sure you tell them, listen, I appreciate you. And I'm happy that you're here. So while I'm here, please allow me to say Auntie Florence. Auntie Florence changed my diapers. She did everything. She taught me to read. She did everything for me. So I want to say thank you so much. Uncle Sammy, both of you have been absolutely amazing to raise different generations. If they raised me and you guys are here, they must be doing something right. Professor, you've been doing this for decades before I was even here. The fact that you're still here doing it is a testament to just who you are and your resilience. So thank you so much for everything. Now that being said, like I said, I've been here with you guys, so I'm not going to do it from there because that's not really why we're here. First of all, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. I love the energy that you came with. Some more than others, but everybody go wake up today. All of you who are doing you're not young, so you'll come yours later. I'll find time to go around for everybody. But listen, we're not here for a speech. We're not here for me to tell you what to do with social media, because the reality is nobody can. You heard a part about us saying it's about morality and it's about teaching you what you're supposed to do. The honest truth is there's nobody who can tell you what you're supposed to do. We can preach, you can be in church 10,000 times, doesn't matter. The truth is we all make our own decisions. We can hear everything that we want to hear, but unless we decide to do it for ourselves, there's nobody who can convince us. So I'm not here to tell you what you're supposed to do with social media, what you're supposed to do this and that. That's not the way things work. What we are here to do is to share our experience with you, to show you the pitfalls, to show you the advantages, show you the disadvantages, and then you make the decision yourself. However way that you want to use it, you use it that way, and then we all pay the consequences. Because the truth is, I've experienced this myself. The adults will tell you so many things. They're the pastors, the reverends, oh my God, do this, the Bible says this, the Bible says that. A lot of the time we listen, it goes out one ear, it passes out the other, which is fine. But as you make your choices in life, there will be consequences for everything. For what you do on social media, for what you do with your life, for what you post, for what you share, for what you like, for what you don't like. There will be consequences for everything. Which means that you get to decide, can I live with the consequences? If you can, go right ahead. There's nobody who can stop you. There's not a single one of us here who can stop you from doing what you want to do. So the question I want us to remind ourselves or to ask ourselves at every moment, can I live with the consequences? And if you can, absolutely, go right ahead. It's your life. God gave it to you. Not even your parents. God gave it to you. So not even your parents can force you to do anything. Now that being said, I would really like to hear from you with regards to, we're going to talk about social media. Now we've all used social media, some more than others and whatnot. What are some questions that you have regarding social media, the morality, things that you think are going on? I want to hear from you first before I share with you what it is that we might be here to address. So who wants to be the first one? Talk to me. Are you wearing a headgear? Long story. It's okay. Let's hear from you. Let's make it snappy. Let's make it energetic. Because we want to hear from as many people as possible. I want to hear from you as much as you're going to hear from me. I'm listening. Yeah.
The question. What was the
No. I want to hear from you. What are your questions for me before I go into what I have to say? All of you use social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everybody. How many people on Instagram? How many people on TikTok? How many people on Twitter? Okay. Take it from somebody who, so when I was born, there was no Instagram, there was no TikTok, there was none of that. It's not that I'm that old, but it came a little bit after I was around. I was probably in my teenage years before all of these things were invented. Now, this is what a lot of us miss. Social media, we treat it as something that if you hear your adults saying, oh my God, now these days social media is doing this and social media is doing that. It's never a bad thing. Same way money is not a bad thing, but in the wrong hands, money can be used for anything, can be used for wrong things. So as we're using social media, the only thing that we should be thinking to ourselves is, this thing that I'm doing over here, this thing that I am looking at, this thing that I am liking, this thing that I am sharing, is it good for me personally? Because there is no across board, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. We all decide. We're all Christians, but we all sin, yes or no? Let's be honest, we all sin, yes or no? But we all sin differently, right? Which means that we all pick and choose the sins that make us feel better about ourselves. So we tell ourselves, hey, I'm not a murderer. But you might be telling some lies, you might be stealing one or two things, you might be envious, you might be doing all sorts of things. But you tell yourself, at least I'm not a murderer. But we all sin, yes or no? Which means that there's nothing that cuts across board as to what we're each supposed to do. Each of us will make a decision about what it is that we're comfortable with. Now, somebody who has been on social media, the only thing that I came here to share with you is what I started with, that you can do anything you want. Just be ready for the consequences. I will speak to the ladies first and then to the gentlemen. You as ladies, I see some of you here, you're young. You will be incredibly beautiful. You're already beautiful now, but you'll be beautiful in 10 years in a different way. Which means that if you're on social media now, you're already exposing yourself to a worldwide audience that will always have your information. So you decide, hey, I want to post a photo today. I look very nice. I look very cute. I want to take a nice picture. Of course you should, absolutely. But the moment you do that, you know that you're sharing it with an audience, even though you might just have 10 friends on social media. Once it goes online, it's there forever. And it's the one mistake that a lot of people make. You assume that just because you share one thing with one person, the moment it leaves your phone, it's out there forever. Which means that as you're taking that photo, as you're doing that thing, you think to yourself, the moment this phone, this picture, this text, this whatever, the moment it leaves my phone, am I okay with it being out there for the rest of my life? So you might think, hey, I'm wearing a nice outfit and you want to you strike a risque pose and you do that. Nothing wrong with that. But the moment it goes out into the world, you're going to have to live with that. We live in a social media world where you're all going to look for jobs. You're all going to have to want to make better lives for yourselves. Now, as part of the job search, people look at your social media platforms. Before they hire you to work at a bank, to work at a school, to work in a church, they will do a social media search on you. What has she been posting? What has she been liking? What are the things that are on her page? Does she have guns and rap music? Does he have violence and whatnot? Like I said, you can post whatever you want. It's not up to me to tell you not to post rap videos or this and that. That's not my job. I don't think that's anybody's job. We all have our choices to make. Our parents and everything, we will advise you, no two ways, but the choice will always be yours. So has anybody posted a photo and said, you know what? I don't like that photo anymore. I want to delete it. And you run back and then you try to delete it. It's happened to all of us, yes? But you know, once it's already out there, even if you've deleted it, if one of your friends saved it, took a photo of it, anything, it's already out there. The issue that we're facing here is we're trying to discuss morality. And I keep coming back to this because morality is something that we all decide for ourselves. And there's no blanket that we brush everything. We all have different levels and we all pick the ways that we do things. But what we're here to share with you is that social media can be the most amazing tool. And take it from me, I started out as an accountant. I still work as an accountant. I still own my businesses and whatnot. But I run my social media in a way that I make money from that. I get paid just to be me. I get paid for people to say, hey, hold this can and let me take a photo of you and I will pay you a lot of money just so you can post it. I get paid to say, I will wear this shirt and Just post it for free. Everything I'm wearing here is all made in Ghana. Everything I've been wearing for the probably last 2 years has always been for free. It's always people who say, just wear this and post it and I will give you money. Now that's one way to leverage it in a way that will help you out. Now I'm not saying that that's what you're going to do. Now you can be a doctor who might be paid to give talks and that will be put on social media. You might be an engineer who might be paid to share your tips and your tools. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. You can be an evangelist who makes money from the fact that you're sharing your word. It doesn't really matter. The point I'm making to you is you can use it in one way or you can use it in the other way. The choice will always be yours. If you use it that other way and you feel like there are no consequences, you will post whatever you want because mommy cannot tell me what to do and you will like whatever you like. Do whatever you want to do. But as you can see, 20 years from now, I'm still here. Life, by God's grace, will go on. Life, by God's grace, in 20 years, you will also be somewhere. And I guarantee you, you do not want anything embarrassing out there online. I guarantee you. Which means that morality will always be something that you have guidance for. You have amazing reverends here. You have Professor here. You have Auntie Florence here. We will always guide you. But it's always a personal decision. Uncle Sammy will tell you that when he's Auntie Florence will tell you that it's always going to be a personal decision. I cannot count the number of times Auntie Florence told me, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. I said, I will do it. Genuine truth. Don't do it. Don't go out. Don't do this. Don't do that. I would sneak out of the house just because I wanted to go and see what are they doing in the club. I want to go and I was 14. We would go and peek because we also wanted to see. We wanted to be a part of it. We wanted to, But the truth is, they weren't saying don't go out because they didn't think we should be there at all costs. It's just there's a time for everything. I'm saying this because a lot of you might think that you are ready for whatever it is that is coming. I'm ready to go to the club. I'm ready to post whatever I post. It was all fun and games until the day that we went out, Sammy and I, we almost got robbed at knife point. Almost took the car from us. These people chased us because we were in a space that we were not ready to be in. As 14-year-old kids, we decided we know what we want to do. So we went out, snuck out of the house. Told the security guard, Baba, don't tell anybody. I think we gave him some malt and kebab, I believe. And he helped us push the car out of the house. That's how we went. We pushed the car out of the house so nobody would wake up. And then as we were out of the house, we sparked the car. Away we go. Funny enough, as we're going, we'll always stop at the top of the hill. And then we'll say a prayer. We say, God, as we're about to go and do this badness, please protect us and bring us back home safely. But the point I'm making to you is, as kids, we believe that we know. And a lot of you sitting here will think, what are they talking about? I know. It's all fun and games until you almost lose your life. And we almost lost our lives. Anything could have happened to us. This is somebody running at us with knives and everything, trying to take the car from us because we are 14 who had no business. We had no business being over there. So when I tell you that you can use social media for whatever you want to use it for, but you are a particular age for a reason, and you should do what is appropriate to where you are. Because there will be time. By God's grace, you will also grow up and you will be 20-something, 30-something, 40-something, 50-something, and you can do whatever it is that you want with your life. But if you make those decisions now as if everything is guaranteed, you end up paying for things way too early. Which is why I'm glad that this is the age group that we have here, so we can actually prevent it before it becomes a problem. So you can use social media for whatever you want to use it for. But just please remember that there will always be repercussions. When you look at things, when you look at a beautiful, these days everybody has surgery, there's BBLs, there's all things that you all, who knows what a BBL is? Yeah, no, you don't want them to know that you know. Raise your hands, yes. Who knows what a BBL is? Yes, I know you do, because I know you're online. Auntie Florence, you know what a BBL is? Wonderful. See what I'm saying? It's part of what when women these days, they go and surgically enhance their bodies to look a particular way, to have that extra curve and to have that extra bump, to have extra front side. We go and we do surgeries for all of these things. Now again, these are decisions for when you're an adult. The point I'm making to you is, you go and you see all of these things, and we have a perception of what life is supposed to be. So you as a young woman, you're looking at people who have done multiple surgeries, and you're looking at how she looks, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm supposed to look like that. And if I don't look that, it means that I'm not beautiful. But that's absolutely ridiculous, because you're looking at somebody who is decades ahead of you, who has made choices that they will pay for. I'm sure you know of a few people who have done these surgeries and are now going back to take them out. A lot of people here know the Kardashians. You know, some of you might know Black China. You know, these are people who, and I know Auntie Florence is looking at me like, who are these people? But some of you know them. Who here knows the Kardashians? Wonderful. I know a few of you do. And a few of you might know they all did a lot of surgeries over the last, say, 10 years ago. And a lot of young women followed them and decided, I want to be like them, I want to be like them. But the problem is, again, they have their lives to live and you have your life to live. They finished doing all of that, and recently they decided, you know what? These surgeries aren't a good thing. I'm going to go and take all of them out. So now they have removed everything artificial, not everything, but most of it, that they put into their bodies. But what about the young people who went to follow them who don't have the ability to go remove these things? Now you're stuck because you were following what you thought the idea of what life was supposed to be. There is no what life is supposed to be. So as you use social media, I would implore you, don't look at it and say, hey, that person's life looks so amazing. That person is always traveling. They look like their father has a Range Rover. They look like they're having the best time and everything. You can never see anybody's life through social media lens. We will always show you the best parts of our lives. We will never show you the worst parts of our lives. Never, never, never. I will never show you when I'm crying or when I'm suffering and everything. But if I'm wearing a nice suit or whatever, best believe I will post it. And you'll be happy and we'll all think that, oh, his life is going so fantastically. So please, that's the only thing that I can share with you today. Use it in a way that will benefit you. Because if you look at other people's lives and everything, I guarantee you there's nothing there. It'll look amazing. You'll see vacations, you'll see sports cars, and we all think to ourselves, it must be better, it must be better. These people have amazing bodies. I want to look like that. I have to look like that. Men, you will see people with money, with cars, with things, sports people. This person is a sports star. You say, I have to be that. There is no such thing. So as you're here today, as you walk away, if there's nothing at all that you will remember, it's that number one, if you are lucky enough to have people who came before you, if it's an older brother, an older woman, whoever it is that is in your life, they will not be here forever. And I need you to let that sink in, because none of us will be, you won't be here forever, I won't be here forever. So let's learn to value the people that we have, and don't be afraid to say, hey, listen, I appreciate you. If they tell you something, they say, hey, don't go here, don't do this, don't post that, understand that even though it might not really make sense, and like I said, I told you, I didn't really listen. But you have to understand that where it's coming from a place of, I'm saying this because I know better than you. And that's all you need to believe. And the third thing is, there is no morality that cuts across board. And it is always your choice. We will never be able to tell you how to use your phone. I'm not going to be there when you're hiding in the bathroom looking at something on your phone. Your parents aren't going to be there. Nobody will be there. But you get to decide what I am doing. Is it okay for me as a person? If it's okay for you as a person, go right ahead. Nobody will ever be able to stop you. Unfortunately, God has told us that there are consequences for everything. Last, if he doesn't catch you here, he'll catch you on the other side. So it's up to us. Every single choice that we make, especially at the age that you are, try to just make choices that won't harm your life. Be protective of who you are, your spirit, your embodiment. It's not a thing that you just share freely because it's social media. So don't just put yourself out there because you want to be popular. If you're putting yourself out there, put yourself out there in a way that 20 years from now, you wouldn't be embarrassed for that photo to be there. So young ladies, if you're doing something that you feel like, hey, maybe this is too short, maybe this is too risque, maybe I'm showing a bit too much of my body, maybe I'm showing a bit too much flesh, maybe I'm posing in a way that suggests that I am into something that I am not into. You decide for yourself and ask yourself, in 20 years, would I want to see this? Young men, you can do whatever you want, you can look at whatever you want, but ask yourself, in 20 years, if I had a son, if I had a daughter, would I want them to be doing this? Decide for yourself. That is all that we can ever do for you. We will always guide you, we'll always tell you what to do, but take it from somebody who listened half the time and didn't listen half the time. I paid for the consequences of my actions. Every bad thing that I've done in this world, I've had to pay for the consequences. That's just the way life works. Everything. And then sometimes you look back and you say, oh, I should have done this differently and everything. But maybe I should have also had somebody tell me that, hey, listen, you can do whatever you want, but the reality is you will pay for it. And I guarantee you that you will pay for it. God has an amazing way of making us learn from our mistakes. Sometimes if you push him too far, he will make you pay in a way that it's not a great thing. So for kids, whatever age that you are, I appreciate the fact that you're here to listen to the people who are here to guide you. We're here to talk about social media, the morality aspect of it. And again, all I can share with you is social media can be used in any way that you want. Anyway, it can be very beneficial to you. You can use it to learn. You can use it to pick up different things from life. Or it can take you the other way. You can even make money from it if you want. I would advise you, the way that I use social media, if you must be on social media. How many of you know how Instagram works, Twitter works, all these things work? You know there's an algorithm, yes? You understand when I say what the algorithm is? You might not understand, but some of you understand. Raise your hand if you say the Instagram algorithm. You understand what that means? Auntie Florence, you understand the Instagram algorithm? Uncle Sammy does. These social media platforms are set up in a way, the things that you like, the things that you continue to open, that is what they will show you. So if you open your Instagram and you look at a photo of, say, Kim Kardashian, and you like that photo on Monday, tomorrow you open Instagram, you look for a photo Tuesday, Wednesday. The Instagram app, the algorithm learns that this is what she wants to see. This is what he wants to see. So that is all that they will show you. They will go find other photos of Kim Kardashian or whoever it is, and they will just keep feeding that to you. Which means that you're directing yourself and you're cornering yourself into a particular place. Now that being said, the algorithms can learn. So try to like, try to open, try to share things that you yourself want to be connected with. So if you like sports, open as many sports things as you can. If you like Bible, politics, engineering, medicine, there are pages for all of these things. Try to open as many of those pages as possible. Whenever you go, look for something that you're interested in. If it's sports, if it's medicine, whatever it is, look for that particular thing. That way the algorithm learns that this is what he wants to see. And that is what your Instagram will be filled with. That is what your Facebook will be filled with. That way, even when you're on social media and your mom might be angry because you're using your phone and whatnot, you might be learning something new. You might be learning a new technique. If you're an artist, there's artists who give amazing tutorials and whatnot. There's so much that you can learn, but it has to be your decision. Don't let the social media take you. Don't just jump in and go with the flow. Decide how you want to use it. So whatever thing that interests you, right? What are you interested in? What? Football. Okay, that's fine. What are you interested in? What? Music. I thought you said boozing. What are you interested in? Drawing. So sports, music, drawing. And I'm sure all of you are on social media. So you see drawing pages, do you not? You see artist pages and everything. You see music pages, and you see sports pages. So for each of you, every time that you go on social media, what you should be doing is trying to avoid anything that is outside your interests. Open as many sports pages as you can. Like as many sports pages as you can. That way you teach the algorithm that this is what I am interested in. Which means that moving forward, it will push more of that to you. Because I don't want you in situations where you're just on social media for social media's sake, and then anything that comes across, they will show it to you. Whether it's this and that, and then you're just moving in whatever direction. I want to go here, I want to go here. You want to draw. It's tons of artist pages. Today when you go home, go like 15 of them. Follow 30 something of them. Let the algorithm see that this is what the person wants to see, and they will continue to feed that to you. That way you're making a conscious decision that I am on social media. I might be doing something beneficial, but it's my choice. Your choice is to draw. Your choice is to like music. Your choice is to like football. None of us can take that choice away from you. It's not up to us. But as you make your choice, try to make it in a way that, one, honors God. Because, if God decides that he wants your life to go badly, nobody can help us. It honors your parents, and then it honors yourself. Because those are the two people who came before us. And then we are the ones in control of our lives. Yes? So that's everything I have for you today. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you might want to share, feel free. But that is my message to you. Please take control of your own lives and make decisions that you can live with. Thank you for your time, and thank you for being here.
Why don't you do it better? Let's appreciate Mawuli Gavor for the timeless message and advice. I think we can take 2 questions before the panel discussions. If you have a question, I think the young man, please come forward. Put your hands together. Oh, please, if you have a question, can we have just 2 people? 2. There is something really interesting. Nala, share with us.
Alright. So I wanted to ask about how you manage your school life and your your passion for other things. Like sometimes it's like your grades and academics is kind of different from what you want to like achieve, like your passion and all that. So like the balance between the two sometimes like it's passion and all.
Balance between passion and then like your regular grades and whatnot.
Academics.
Got it. What are you passionate about?
Um
What?
dancing.
Dancing. I love that. I love that. I love that. The honest truth is, it's impossible for everybody to be first in class. There's how many of you here? It's not possible for everybody to be first in class, no matter how much you try. As you go on in life, you start to learn that there will be some people who are smarter than you. There are some people who are sharper than you. There are some people who have better memory retention than you. It doesn't mean that they're better in any way, shape, or form. Because the reality is, you might be more talented than them. You might be braver than them. You might be more resilient than them. There's so many different ways that we can all contribute. And there's so many different ways that we can all be who we are without losing a bit of ourselves. So the only thing that you can do in this life is to try your absolute best. Which means that your grades, if you study, and I'm saying you actually study, you make the time. You don't say because I want to dance, I'm not going to study. You study just fine. You study, you try your best, you do as much as you can. Whatever happens with the grades, don't blame yourself. It's not a problem. Trust me, even if you score 50% in science and you score 100% in creative arts and 90% in this, don't focus on the number. What you focus on is, did I do my best? Did I actually study? Now, if you didn't study and you failed, that's on you. There's nothing that anybody can do to help you. But if you actually studied, if you actually went home and said, listen, I did my homework, I tried my best, I did everything that I could, and this is what I got. If you go to your parents and you say, Mom, I studied, and they saw that you studied, and you said, Mom, this is what I got, I guarantee you they will not be mad. I guarantee you they will not be upset or disappointed because they saw that you tried your best. And then you also say that, hey, but I'm also really passionate about dancing. You show her what you can do. I guarantee you that they will support you in whatever way that you can. But the key is you have to try. You can't not try and then say, oh, my grades are bad, but I also want to dance. So do your best, and then everything else, God will do the rest for you. So you're welcome to pursue dance, but you have to at least try to keep your grades up. Yes?
Thank you.
Very welcome.
All right, put your hands together. And we have one more person to ask a question, and then we can say thank you to Mr.
So my question is, what if you want to do something else and your parents are trying to make you do what they want you to do? What do you do about that?
I mean, like I said, I didn't study being in media or entertainment. I studied finance, I studied computer science. When I made the switch, everybody thought I was crazy, but it's also for good reason, because like I said, when your parents tell you things, it's because they love you. You understand? The reality is, out of 1,000 people who made the move that I made, probably only 2 of them would succeed. Which means that with those odds, your parents would be bad people if they told you, oh yeah, go ahead, go do it. They would actually be bad people. No. It doesn't mean that they should stop you. It doesn't mean that they will stop you. But when they tell you, hey, I think that you should do this. I think that you should try to be a doctor. I think that you should try to be a whatever it is. It's because they know that it's a good thing for you. I don't think there's any parent who would tell you go do something that is actually bad for you. So you look at it as they're trying to help you out. Now that being said, if it's something that you are completely not interested in, you should voice it out. And hey, I really don't want to do this. I would like to do this. There's nothing wrong with that. But the point I'm making to you is everything comes from a place of love and because they actually care about you. Now don't look at people who have left school. You say, but that guy, he left school and he's now a millionaire and everything. That's absolutely true. That is true. But the unfortunate thing about life is that's not quite how life works. Just because it worked for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for 100 other people. Which means that, like I said, if you are willing to take up with the consequences, that's up to you. But no matter what your parents tell you, please just understand it's from a place of love. Try to voice out what it is. Don't hide what you want to do. And then later on, you go do it secretly. Tell them, hey, listen, I understand you want me to be a doctor. I would love to be an artist. Is there a way that I can pursue both and see what happens? Always try to compromise. Yeah? All the best to you.
Wow, 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 wow. I think he deserves a massive round of applause. Let's give a yes shout in addition. Come on. An applaud and a shout. Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful message. I just want us to say this. What are you watching? Ask somebody, what are you watching? Ask the person, what are you liking? And ask them, who are you following? And then ask, who are you listening to? And finally, ask them, what have you been posting?